Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to make the most magnificent gluten-free key lime pie. It's everything you'd want in a key lime pie and more. So let's get into it and I'll show you how to make it. In this bowl, I have 2 cups or 240 grams of gluten-free graham cracker crumbs. You can either use store-bought or make them homemade with my gluten-free graham cracker recipe. Link is up top for the video. I just put broken up graham crackers into this bag and used my rolling pin, but you can also do it in a food processor if you'd rather. So to these crumbs, I'm adding 1 tablespoon or 17 grams of light brown sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon and a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, a 1/4 cup or 50 grams of granulated sugar, and 6 tablespoons or 85 grams of melted butter. And I'll just mix this up with a fork until the crumbs start sticking together if you squeeze them. If you feel the need to add more butter, if your crumbs are like dry, if yours don't stick together well or whatever, just add 1 tablespoon of butter at a time. Okay, I've got a pie pan here. It's a 9-inch pie pan that's a fairly deep pie pan. So if you don't have a deep one, I would cut the recipe in half and make it in a shallow pie pan and then cut the time it takes to bake it in half as well. I'm going to focus on the sides first. And I always keep around this old measuring cup to really press the crumbs along the sides and the bottom. And that's the only reason I use this old measuring cup, because y'all know I weigh everything. Alrighty, I'll press the bottom. And then I'm going to get this into a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 12 to 15 minutes or so, just until it's light golden brown. And we'll let this cool while we make the filling. This filling is based on my original key lime pie filling, but I took a tip from America's Test Kitchen and added a secret ingredient that makes a world of difference, y'all. I'll get to that in a minute, but first I'm adding 2 14-ounce cans of sweetened condensed milk, you know, the nectar of gods. And then for the key lime juice, you can find this anywhere really. It's Nellie and Joe's key lime juice, but this would be about the only time I'd ever recommend using bottled like citrus juice. But to me, it really does make a difference to use the key lime. You are welcome to use regular limes or even squeeze the juice out of a bunch of key limes, but that's going to take you forever to get 3/4 cup or 180 milliliters, because those things are super, super tiny. And then I've got 4 egg yolks here. And now for that not so secret ingredient, a 1/2 cup or 120 milliliters of heavy cream. It makes this key lime pie incredible, y'all. I do have some dairy-free alternatives in the written recipe if you need to be dairy-free. And we'll just whisk this until it's smooth. It's just that simple, y'all. Key lime pie, just so easy. I'll grab my pie crust that's still pretty warm and pour this in the crust. And we'll bake this at the same temp, 350F, for about 30 minutes, or until what you're looking for is when you take it out of the oven, the edges should be set. You can see those edges set, but the very center is still a little jiggly. So I'm going to let this cool on the wire rack for about an hour, and then I'll put plastic wrap directly on the surface and let it chill in the fridge for at least 6 hours. And for the whipped cream, I'm adding 1 cup or 240 milliliters of heavy whipping cream to my stand mixer, along with a 1/4 cup or 31 grams of powdered sugar and about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'll just whip this on low at first and then crank it up to medium and then medium high until stiff peaks form. If you want to dollop the whipped cream on top of the pie, then maybe go a little less than stiff peaks, maybe soft peaks. but I'm piping rosettes, so I'm going to take it all the way to stiff peaks so they'll hold up. All right, this is my fully chilled pie. I'll just remove the plastic wrap. I can tell it's nicely set. You won't believe this pie, y'all, how good it is. Oh, so good. I'll grab a decorating bag and fit, what is this, 1M? Yeah, it's a Wilton 1M open star tip, and I'll load up my whipped cream in the bag, and then I'll just pipe rosettes or something similar, kind of a mixture of rosettes and something else. I like to start on one side and then do the exact opposite side and then keep turning the pie pan and continue like that, and that way you know you're spacing them out perfectly. And I've got some slices of just a regular lime here, and I'll add these to each rosette, and then finally some lime zest to sprinkle on top. And there you have it, guys. A simple and beautiful key lime pie that is really anything but simple in flavor. I've cut a nice slice, y'all, and take a look at this. I wish I could describe the filling properly, y'all, but the only thing I can think of is creme brulee. You know how the custard part of creme brulee is silky smooth. It is, if it's done right, that is. This pie, I've never, and let me tell you, I've had lots of key lime pie in my lifetime, before celiac, of course, because nobody makes it gluten-free. But I have never had key lime pie like this before, and nothing better than this. It is so incredibly silky smooth, and the tartness doesn't even need that whipped cream or any topping, really. It's just tart enough without being overly so, and each bite deserves just like oohs and ahs. I sliced a piece for my husband, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "Oh my God." Literally. It is the best, y'all. Enjoy.